Hi, my name's Lewis Smithies. I am a part of the Architecture 458, and I'm going to be interviewing a fellow Aggie here whose life hasn't always been in the United States. So, please state your full name and country where you're from.
My name is Vanessa Mesa. I come from Colombia, Medellin.
And what brought you to the United States?
I had an uncle who had come to the United States. So when I was about 7 years old, my dad was presented with the opportunity to join him in the United States and start a more prosperous life than what we had.
Okay. And what was the biggest culture shock that you experienced when you came to this country?
The food was very different. There's fast food everywhere. It's easy access to a lot of different food at all hours of the day.
All right. Did anything from the American culture come off as offensive to you or your family?
Yes. When I had a lot of friends that would come over, and to my parents, it's very important to acknowledge them, my parents' presence. And I had a lot of friends who would come in and just kind of ignore that my parents were in the same room as them. And so that was definitely something that my parents had to understand was different. But it was offensive to us to think that they were coming into their home and weren't being acknowledged.
Okay, fair enough. And so, what is the proper way to greet someone in your culture?
Typically with a kiss on the cheek. And a hug. It depends on who it is. Family, friends, it's usually a very affectionate greeting. Even if it's someone that you haven't met before, if it's a friend of a friend, you still typically greet with a kiss on the cheek or a handshake even.
Okay. And was the United States what you expected it to be?
Yes. Yes and no. It is very American. There isn't a whole lot of other culture, but it gave us what we wanted, a more prosperous life, more opportunity. So yeah, it was.
All right. Did you have a difficult time adjusting when you came here? I know you said you were young when you did, but...
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment, and it took a lot of getting used to the school systems being different and the food was different. But overall, I think that because I was younger, it was an easier adjustment for me.
Hi, my name is Kiran Sundrani and I'm from Pakistan.
What was the biggest culture shock that you experienced?
People here dress very differently. Over there we're more conservative and people dress more modestly than here.
Did anything from our culture come off as offensive?
Yeah, when I first got here, people would ask me why my English was so good, and they thought that people in Pakistan don't really speak English, and they were really surprised, and that came off as offensive. But I just want to say that we do know English, and English is our second official language.
How do you greet someone in your culture?
We say Assalamu alaikum and just shake our hands. That's it.
I'm Wan Yuzhuang. I'm from China. I come here for study Master of Architecture. Okay, I would like to say that people here would really like driving, and the culture is kind of car culture. No. English or Chinese?
Chinese.
Chinese? Okay. 你吃了吗? I was imagining that all the cities in America just look like the New York. Density of the city is different. In China, actually, you can go downstairs and do whatever you want in 5 minutes. But here, you have to drive.